Mozambique.
Mozambique.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Do you think you can
Do you
increase
think
your
you can increase your
microphone volume?
microphone volume?
It's
Can you hear me?
yeah. Now I can hear you better. Cool. That's far better. Thanks. 1 second, please.
So, what's happening?
Uh, everything is fine. How are you?
Yeah?
Yeah. How about you?
I'm so shocked.
You are so shocked. Why?
Because, these applications, you come out of boredom, right? But then you leave insecure. People keep skipping me. I don't know why.
Ah, right. Yeah, I understand what you mean. So you feel little, I don't know, scared that you're gonna get.
Scared.
It's like insecure.
Shocked.
Okay, shock. It happens
Yeah.
a lot. It happens a lot. I know. So okay. So yeah, yeah. So I think 80% of people just skip each other, right?
Maybe. So, where are you from?
South Korea.
Really? Your
Mm-hmm.
English is flawless. I thought maybe you're like Korean American or like Korean Australian.
Oh, okay. So
Some Korean something.
okay, but thank you very much. That sounds really like a big compliment for me. But I have no idea where the Australia came from.
I'm just kidding. You don't have the accent, but Korean
Uh-huh.
American you can definitely qualify for that.
Okay, but it's not definitely my first language, and also I sometimes struggle. But
Of course.
I think I'm yeah good enough to communicate and exchange.
100%.
Thank you. So, how many people have you talked to today? Like decent conversation.
You one
Wow,
for like 7 hours.
for like you've been here like for 7 hours, and I'm the only person
Yeah. Yeah.
that you actually talk to. Wow, that's I don't know how to react to this. Oh. Mm,
It's very shocking.
so, but I think you are very patient too at the same time because I don't think I can stay here for 7 hours if I keep experiencing the same thing like a skip.
However, learning Korean, and I thought it would be very helpful if I were a person who just randomly talks to me in Korean so that I guess I better my communication.
Ah, that's cool. So I think I'm the one, maybe the right person. You can talk to Korean.
Here's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like linguistics. I like the different nuances languages have.
Oh, okay.
And and especially Asian languages are freaking hard. I tried Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
I quit. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. My brain is not mentally equipped for this.
I think you
But
made the
at
right
that
decision. Okay,
moment, yeah, I agree. I agree too.
because I quit
But
too.
because I have been,
Mm-hmm.
why though? I think it would be easier for you.
I'm sorry. What's easy or what's? I missed your question.
You learning Chinese would have been easier than me learning Chinese.
That's true. That's true. But still, it's difficult language, especially writing and reading.
Mm, true.
Mm-hmm.
But but in your case, I think it would have been easier because I think in Korea you have like Chinatown, and there are a lot. I think you're capable of meeting a lot of Chinese people, whereas I'm in Africa, the south of Africa. I
Mm-hmm.
see two, three Chinese people who don't even want like they're doing their day-to-day life. So
Mm-hmm.
for me to actually learn it, I wouldn't know anywhere
Mm.
to better myself. No. Sai, e fecha a porta também. Obrigado.
Wow, that's your mother language.
No, English is my mother language.
Oh, uh, but obrigado. You said something different language.
Ah, I I'm the country I'm from originally was colonized by Britain, so English is the first language
Mm-hmm.
here, mother
Oh,
tongues.
okay.
But English is the first language. But I immigrated to a different country 4 years ago that speaks Portuguese.
Yeah, obrigado. I think that
Because
was Portuguese.
so
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
Obrigado. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, right. So Portuguese is also spoken in your country.
Yeah.
Mm.
Portuguese is mainly used. We've reached a point where like a lot of people don't know the dialects,
Mm-hmm.
especially the younger generation. They just learn Portuguese.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, most of the times it's Portuguese that people use. Yeah.
That's interesting. So there must be some Portuguese population too, right?
Yeah. I mean, remnants of the like Portuguese people from Portugal who came through like the colonization era. Of course, yeah,
Oh,
their descendants are still here.
that's
But a majority
interesting.
of people, they're just, I don't know, black
Mm-hmm.
from African descent,
I
I guess.
see. So, so which race is kind of a dominant ethnic group that in your country? Portuguese or like local Mozambique?
Local,
Local.
local Mozambicans, I guess, yeah.
Oh, okay. They took over the authority.
Yeah. I mean, in comparison to most African countries that were colonized, yes, they
Mm.
did take over. But because of like this whole like like wave of modernization that's coming around, you find like Chinese people, Korean people, Australian American people. So now it's just it's it's a whole mix of different nationalities, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Mm, that's cool. Sounds like very open country to me.
Mm.
Not
No,
really? Not really? Because
no.
the influx of different nationalities and the culture means that you're like a blending in, and then it leads to like how can I say diversity and the openness too. I think is it not?
Mm. No, see, I think because of how we grow up,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I think for most I don't even justify it. For most African people, we grow up with so much hatred towards some white people's ancestors that they had no
Ah,
idea, like they have never met. So we grow up with a lot of internalized racism. Like it's like deep within us. So much so that even when we are living, you think it's so maybe it is diverse when you look at it. When it
ah,
comes to like how we think, it's not. There is a lot of racism, a lot of xenophobia going on here for white people, Chinese people, especially with COVID, like Chinese people or anyone who
oh,
looks Asian, they're going through so much shit right now.
okay.
But then you live in one of the most hard countries to live in. I mean, Korea is very,
Mm-hmm.
very, very, ah,
It can be
like
honest about it. Yeah, I'm also very
the
observant
beauty
about
standards.
beauty
The
standard.
beauty standards in Korea are mad crazy.
Yeah.
They're,
Uh-huh, uh-huh. So, how did you figure that out?
I mean, Korea does. It's amongst because if I say it is, like even in Africa, there are countries that do plastic surgery, but plastic surgery is very, very like common there. Like people get like birthday presents as like plastic surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it also from like variety shows because I watch a lot of variety shows. Yeah, normally the first thing that people say when they see you, the
Mm-hmm.
first compliment they give you is like, "Oh, you're so beautiful." Oh, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I prefer this look. I prefer that look.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, here it's like that too, but I think it's extreme there.
Mm-hmm. That's yeah. That's a too visual compliment actually.
Mm. Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm the man, so I don't go through plastic surgery. I know many Korean guys are these days like putting makeup on, and they have to be like also beautiful too these days. So I guess I'm not their age, first of all. Second, I'm not in such business as well, so it's not none of my
Mm-hmm.
business. So I don't have to be like that. So you see that I didn't like put on any makeup. I didn't put any specific like whitening cream or anything when I kind of came online to see someone. So if yeah, it's not for me. So
You you beautiful the way you are, man. Like, people are art canvases. If we were to take a moment and look at a person, how would look at an artist? Take away technique. Because
yeah,
normally when you go to a museum, right, you look at the art piece and you're just like, oh, it's nice. You don't When you don't compare it to someone else's work, you appreciate everybody's beautiful if we were to look at them just the way they are and not compare them to, let's say, an idol or some model
yeah,
or
exactly.
someone in the beauty industry. So you're beautiful. You don't need makeup. Makeup is uncomfortable. I stopped putting on makeup. I cut my hair because it's
Okay,
uncomfortable.
cool. Yeah, when there is like only one standard for certain things, then people who do not kind of live up to the standard begin to feel inferior, begin to feel like
Mm.
they're like how can I say, I don't know, what the right word is, that they somehow feel that they are inadequate, I think. Yeah.
Insecurities, I guess.
That's
Insecure.
too like suffering this low self-esteem, suffering from the low self-esteem because they're not like qualified to be to be appreciated. I don't know. Uh, yeah. So when it comes to the standard, I think Korea has the standard for everything. That's really killing people's emotion, their happiness too. So that's something that I don't really like about this culture. It's not about only beauty, but it's sometimes from ranging from beauty to success or like good person. They have their own standard. So
Mm.
they specified it. So when they don't have it, I can feel happy. I can enjoy my relative happiness. But they made it
Mm-mm.
like more like a definite one when there is no definite thing. So I think that makes me sometimes feel angry because I don't need that, and then they bring the ruler to you, and then they made you think about that. So, okay, so I'm not kind of living up to the social standard now, right? So
Mm, 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 mm,
I
mm.
couldn't be happy like in more like a objective viewpoint. Is it right? Is it like that? So that makes me feel very
Yeah, I get
uncomfortable.
that.
Yeah.
I,
So
I think I think Asia and Africa are similar in that respect. Like, for
oh.
instance, growing up, my parents, the standard of success in Africa, it's go to school, uh, for dudes, that is, go to school, high school, primary school, then go to university, and you have to major in like business, finance, accounting, administration, be a doctor or an
Oh.
engineer,
Okay.
and get a good job, get married, have kids. You're successful. You're supposed to be happy. If you don't have those things, you're not successful and you're not happy. And
Okay.
that's that makes so many, I think that makes so many of us go through like a lot of depression, because even here, like, and nowadays, there is like a certain level of acceptance of, like, there's such thing as mental health, but a lot of people are so depressed because I don't think everybody has the opportunity to go to school and be a doctor. Because, I mean, if we were all capable, I mean, the world would be full of doctors, but we have different strengths. So yeah, it used to make me angry, but I developed an IDKF attitude.
Okay. IDFK. I don't.
IDGF.
I don't give a.
I
Okay. I don't give. Okay. I understand. You don't
Yeah.
give. Okay. S shit
I
or
don't give a
something.
damn.
Okay, you don't
I
give a
don't
damn.
give a damn
Got it.
about what people think.
Yeah.
Because
Mm-hmm.
for me, I think the societal standard had to come from someone, right? Because it just didn't like out of nowhere, God, hello, and
Mm-hmm.
then gave us this society. That standard was made by someone. So to me, I thought it nobody gave that person the right to constitute that this is right for the rest of the world. Like, who are you to say
Mm-hmm.
this is okay and this is not okay? So if you're just the same person like me, you're a random ass person like me, then live like a random person. Don't think this is the proper way. Like proper way for me, I'm satisfied. If it's not proper for society, then society can go screw itself. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Because if you get angry because of like so many expectations that come from the society, even family,
Mm-hmm.
oof, you're going to the hospital and stay for 3 months because of, I don't know, depression or psychosis or whatever.
Mm. Huh. Yeah, yeah. I think from someone who has African friends. I think it's my Korean friend, so who lives in UK. She has Korean, lots of African friends. Of course, it's difficult to just say Africa because it's a big continent and that there must be some differences between
Oh,
the
yeah.
countries, though. But
Fi-
at the same time,
54.
yeah, at the same time,
Fifty-four
you
countries.
call Asian culture, but it has something in common, like a collective culture. Also, like
Yeah.
that's this is exactly the same approach when I call African culture. So I think yeah, I heard that we have many things in common between
Yeah.
Asian and African culture.
Many, many,
Hmm.
many, many. It's
Yeah, it's suffocating sometimes.
shocking.
Yeah, suffocating, and it's weighing down you with lots of pressure and the burdens. So customs too. I think
Yeah.
maybe some communities. I think there are lots of superstitious even customs too, right? Superstitious.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Which is something I was very shocked because I was going through like mythical creatures, like folklore from, let's say, Korea or China or Japan, like the different folklore of like certain mystical creatures that exist. And I was like, yo, all of this, they exist in most African cultures that I'm like very familiar with. I'm like, I mean, at the end of the day, maybe we are like, we're all similar people, but we just tend to like complicate things because of like how we want things to be like.
So
How
it's
old are you?
I'm a bit old actually. You can tell, right? Why do you laugh? I mean,
No,
older than average people you meet here.
uh, I'm laughing because the earth, right, is billions of years old. So even if you're 100 years old,
Hmm.
you're still a baby considered to where you are
Hmm.
and what you're supposed to measure up. So like whatever age you think is old, it's not old. You're supposed to say I'm this years young.
Oh, that's cool. Cool way to say it. I don't personally. I don't feel that I'm old. I'll never be old because you don't feel that way eventually. That's how we feel about ourselves. But I don't know. The question you ask, how old are you, is like the question that everybody asks here, and then I keep finding out that I'm almost like a double age than most of the people here sometimes. So so it makes me think that way.
Ah, so you're like 40?
Not that, but I'm in my 30s.
Dude, you're a baby. What you talking about?
Okay,
To
so
me, I think we're like 70. You're close to a century. You're definitely getting there, but
okay,
30s? No,
okay. Well, I
that's
think you
not
already
very old.
you very sounds like you live like 100 years already. So how about you? How old are you?
I am very young.
Yeah, right. So, but you just
I
talk like
I'm
you live
very young.
endlessly, and then you've been through lots of things and witnessed a lot about the changes of centuries
No,
too. Okay.
No. I do have a tendency of speaking. People I know joke around the fact that they
Mm-hmm.
think that like when I like, in my previous life, right? I lived to maybe like 120,
Mm-hmm.
and then my mentality didn't like it. I didn't completely forget the way I was living in my previous life. The only thing that changed was the body size. So
Mm-hmm.
my mind is still of a 120-year-old person,
Mm-hmm.
but in this current life, I'm very young.
Yeah. You definitely sounded like that. So you kind of you're living second life where you already lived very long to see many things. Okay.
I mean, like, I just wanted to make you feel like less old because you feel like you feel old. So yeah, if I'm your age mate, you're like, okay, relatability. Your age, what's up? What's going on?
Actually, I
Yeah.
don't really mind unless they don't care about it. So I don't care about my age. Actually, it's about it's more about how you kind of connect with the other person. But it's not about age. So I think I still connect with the older people, like 50, 60, 70. I don't really care unless they can connect with me. So eventually it's more about the focus of another person that I'm talking to. So if your focus is
True,
like
true.
more on making connection, then being the same age, I think it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays, though, it
Mm-hmm.
it I think back in the day, I think age did constitute a
Mm-hmm.
lot on how a person thinks or a lot on how a person views things.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays, I find that like you will find like most female friends I know that are like 37, 40,
Mm-hmm.
they think like my cousin who's like 16. And I sit down and go like, what happened?
Okay. Okay. So you
Girl,
are
you're 40.
okay.
What
You now you
happened to you?
you're talking about stunted growth now, like the
I don't think it's standard
underdevelopment
growth.
or I don't know or underdevelopment. I don't know.
I don't think it is though. I think what makes us what makes us grow
Mm-hmm.
is the experiences we go through. I think the more hardships you go through and how the lessons you take from hardships,
Mm-hmm.
they make you somewhat more mature
Mm-hmm.
than the actual maturity like people expect to find in a certain age group. Like I've seen
Mm-hmm.
for most people who like maybe start working from a young age, you'll find someone who's 16, 17 be so responsible in comparison to someone who's like 30, even
Mm-hmm.
like 40. So it's how much you've experienced and what you've taken from that. So no, it's not standard growth. It's just maybe they experienced helicopter parenting, where
Mm-hmm.
like your parents shield you from all the harshness of the world,
Yes.
and
Spare them.
you've been living on this beautiful like boat where like
Mm-hmm.
everything is just rainbows and roses. So much so even the older you're getting, you still view the world as if it's from the eyes of a 5-year-old because that's all you've been seeing, just beautiful, beautiful things with less disappointments.
Let's see. Do you study psychology?
Why?
Because
Why?
the terms you're using, like helicopter parents and also like their inner child, you're talking about that. That's very psychological approach actually. So
Mm,
it's about
I
personal inner personal growth and how the upbringing, how the parenting influences the personal growth too. So that's actually very psychological stuffs.
yeah, I did a, a psychological major.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
tell.
but that's not what I'm a teacher. I teach now,
Uh,
but
can I ask what you're teaching?
I teach mathematics, biology, and chemistry for
Wow,
seniors in high school.
wow. Okay, okay, teacher.
No, no, I am very weirded out by the whole. Maybe because here we don't say teacher or we don't use very like high like names to refer to teachers. People, my students call me by my name, like my
Mm-hmm.
first name.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
it's the norm here.
That what happens in South Korea. So teacher has to be teacher.
선생님,
I don't
선생님,
actually agree with the
French fries.
term. Yeah, but it creates like a class distinction when you begin to call someone by their title. So you can't really bring down the barrier you have between the two persons. So I prefer. I wish when I want to establish a relationship, I wish the other person view me as person, not as some sort of a figure or title. So
You're
yeah,
a weird as Korean person, because in
I'm.
Korea, y'all are
Mhm.
so high on like age. The older the person, the more like the title you have to give that person, and the more formal you have to speak to the person. Whereas for me, I think no. Like I refuse my nephew to call me aunt. I'm like, no. No, no. I'm me, call me me. Just because you don't use aunt does not mean you respect me less.
Mhm.
You just see me as a person as I'm seeing you as a person. Move on.
I see. Yeah, you're an interesting person. I can definitely see that you're very different from people I've met and I've talked to. So I think you're kind of an analytic person. So you do a lot of analysis. You analyze a lot. I think it's just
Oh
naturally. I think
yeah.
you are a thinker. I guess. So maybe some things go unnoticed. Maybe um, never got noticed in your eyes. I guess. So you have to analyze and you have to find the your own. I don't know analysis. Yeah, to me it looks like that.
I am I am the observer.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I'm a very introverted observer. So
Mm-hmm.
much so like this much talking, I don't talk this much. I'm mostly a listener.
Okay. Because you know that what you say wouldn't make any sense to them. Is it true?
No, not because I don't think it would make sense to them. I
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, talking tires me. I get
Okay.
tired of talking.
So how do you feel talking with me?
I'm shocked.
You are shocked? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, 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 yeah. Because you're not a creepy person.
I'm not creepy. Okay. So what's your definition of creepy? So what makes you feel that someone's creepy?
Because I think stereotypes don't also work like in your favor too. One of the biggest like expectations, because I have been into Korea like for like since 2007,
Mm-hmm.
so that's the longest time.
Wow.
So what I see, I have a tendency of expecting just maybe like half of whoever I'm going to encounter to behave in that particular way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's refreshing to find people who go out of their way to just go like, no, girl, there's so much you don't know. I like being right. I'm a very stubborn person,
Mm-hmm.
but I do enjoy when someone completely culture shocks me. I'm like, okay, I see you. That's what's up. Cool. So I'm blessed, intrigued.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No, thank you.
Oh.
Thank you for blessing me
Oh.
with amazing convos that
Thanks.
that didn't even like end up get like because I think the biggest expectation when people see someone being interested in a country is like, oh my God, this person is gonna be into maybe K-pop or maybe this, that. So it's beautiful to talk about anything but that.